All right, so we've got breaking news. Apparently, Elon Musk is getting raided today. X's Paris office raided by prosecutors amid probe into deep fakes. Again, this is Elon Musk X, also known as Twitter. Authorities are investigating social media platforms' role in deepfake images and alleged foreign interference in French politics. And I don't know if they have like other offices in other countries. This is in France. Every country has different laws, right? And apparently, I mean, they're raiding this dude's office. You can see it right here. Apparently, they're taking this stuff seriously, as we all should. This just came out from the Washington Post. We talked about this before. Inside must bet to hook users turn Grok into, adult content generator. Basically, non-consensual stuff. You're also talking about child stuff. This is what Musk's platform is up to. And then you also have the election interference. Are you manipulating the algorithm? This is actually a statement from them. This is the prosecutor's office in Paris. It says, a search is being carried out at the French premises of X by the cybercrime unit of the Paris Public Prosecutor's Office, okay? Together with the CyberGen and the Europol, as part of the investigation opened in January 2025. So this has been going on for a year. The Paris Public Prosecutor's Office is leaving X. Find us on LKD and Insta. Okay. Oh, right. I get it. I don't know LKD. You guys can let me know what that one is. But I guess they're not going to post on here anymore, which makes sense because there was a thing in France recently. They said they're not going to use American big tech. So instead of Zoom, they'll use something else. Instead of Microsoft, they'll use something else, right? Interesting. So they're going to leave the X platform also. Paris prosecutors cybercrime unit raids X offices. X's French offices. So this is from the French news. It says the cybercrime unit of Paris prosecutor's office on Tuesday launched a search of the French offices of the social media platform X. The raid was connected to an ongoing investigation in January 25 over alleged algorithm manipulation and illicit data extraction. It's got multiple things here. That has since expanded to look into allegations of complicity in spreading child abuse materials and other deep fakes. Wow. This is really big, actually. I'm really curious how far this is going to go. And I know that the EU is much stricter on this stuff than, say, the USA. I think Australia is stricter. I can tell you here in Korea, it's stricter. And they should be. Again, we're talking about non-consensual stuff. I was talking about dealing with child stuff. And, Musk, he always tries to act like he has nothing to do with the Epstein stuff, but he's in the files. And then you also have just his current actions. Let's forget about, the Epstein stuff for a minute here. But just his current actions, right, where his users on his platform spread all kinds of, we'll say conspiracy content, right-wing content, and then you have the whole non-consensual and child stuff. And then you have the election interference stuff. So there's a whole bunch of things. The defenders of Musk, because you'll see it on his platform, they'll all say, no, this is all free speech. I can tweet out as many non-consensual images as I want and as many conspiracy theories that I want, and I can interfere as many elections as I want. I guess that's their plan. And, spread, conspiracies and liable against people or whatever. But this is actually really interesting. The Paris prosecutor's office said a search was underway, so I guess it's going on right now. This just broke just a few minutes ago. At the French offices of Elon Musk's social platform X, they're conducting searches, right? And no comment from X. What else does it say? The Paris prosecutor's office said it launched the investigation after being contacted by a lawmaker. Okay. So it'd be like a local politician then, alleging that biased algorithms in X were likely to have distorted the operation of an automated data processing system. And if those of you in France, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. They're alleging the bias algorithms in X were likely to have distorted the operation of an automated data processing system. The probe has since expanded to investigate alleged, quote, complicity, is how they're saying it, in spreading those kind of images, right? Images of minors, explicit deep fakes. You guys can see all the stuff here. Denials of crimes against humanity. So this would be Holocaust denier people. This is illegal in some countries. So I think France would be one of them. Like, for example, in Germany, you're not allowed to fly certain kind of flags, you know which ones, or, spread certain kinds of materials for obvious reasons. And these are very sensitive topics in Europe. In the USA, they say, oh, it's free speech. I can, fly whatever ridiculous flag that I want. You guys don't know, or wear that particular uniform. But in places like Germany, I think that stuff's illegal. And for Germans, let me know on this stuff. I do like to hear from this stuff because I think it's important that we understand a European perspective, which is different than say the U.S. perspective. So, or just for example, like, as you guys know, I'm in Korea, and people sometimes ask which one. It's obvious, but maybe not to you. But South Korea, and then the North is to the north, right? We just refer to it as Korea because we live here, but. If you say run around in North Korean uniform and fly a North Korean flag, you could run in trouble with the law. Or if, say, you're preaching stuff from North Korea, as you guys understand, this would be highly sensitive stuff to do. So in Germany, it's the same stuff. If you spread materials of a particular mustached party and a mustached dude, right, you get the problem with this stuff. So that's what they're referring to, the denial of crimes against humanity kind of stuff. Manipulation of an automated data processing system as part of an organized group. So this would be, from my understanding, part of the investigation in Europe into Musk would be like, hey, are you getting money from whatever entities or governments or whatever to promote certain kinds of posts? And this would be very sensitive materials in various countries. So let's say, for example, Musk decides to put out a whole bunch of fake content, or being paid to put out fake content regarding certain elections or politicians or certain people's addresses or whatever. There's all sorts of sensitive stuff that could be on social platforms. And I always have to explain this stuff because there are always people out there, well, Chris, you're so dumb. It's all about free speech. I can put people's phone numbers and addresses and, declothe people. And it's like, are you really that stupid? Like there are limits to this kind of stuff. I hope you understand this stuff. Like, do you want people just showing up to your house, like, all hours of the day, accusing you of stuff you didn't do? I mean, it's put in the simplest terms. I mean, this is, there's some really serious things. And remember Musk, when he first took over X, he fired like all of the safety and content people. And then this article became really important. The one recent in Washington Post was basically saying people inside X, employees, we're just like, we're like seeing, all this kind of CSAM content. So, abuse content, non-consensual content. And, they're not thrilled about it. I at this point, I'm surprised. I mean, seriously, like, why hasn't everyone just quit working for Musk? I don't get why people want to be associated with these things. I think some people, in the current economic situation, maybe they got nowhere else to go, which I understand. I get it. You got to put food on the table, but some things aren't worth it. I mean, I wouldn't want to be working in this office and they come raid and looking around for, basically smutty stuff that Musk is doing, another way to put it. And then it says, and other offenses. That's coming from the Paris prosecutors. Paris prosecutors have summoned Musk, wow, and former CEO Linda Yaccarino for questioning in April as part of the probe. So not only just raiding the office, they're telling you got to come in. So I guess Musk isn't going to France anytime soon. I mean, who knows if they're going to figure out a way to get him on a plane and go to France. But I mean, he's summoned, but doesn't mean he's going to go. Summons for voluntary interviews, they say voluntary, on April 20, 2026 in Paris have been sent to Mr. Elon Musk and Miss Linda Yaccarino. There's no way they're going to go. I doubt they'll go. In their capacity as de facto and de jure manager of the X platform at the time of the events, the prosecutor office said. Yaccarino resigned as CEO of X in July last year and 2 years at the helm of the company. So she's like trying to wipe her hands clean of this stuff. But, there's certain things you can't escape. I mean, you did it. You did it, Linda. We saw you do it, right? Like you literally were the CEO of this thing and your hands are there. The prosecutor's office also said it was leaving the X platform and would communicate on LinkedIn. Okay, that was LinkedIn that they're referring to. This is also something that's funny because Elon's been acting weird. He's got the merger with SpaceX and XAI, and I wonder if he got tipped off in some way regarding the X raid. So therefore, he's trying to move stuff around, and it's like, oh, X doesn't exist anymore. Now it's part of SpaceX, so you have no, case against me. He pulls that kind of crap. tried name change. But I'll just say this, guys. This is actually in Europe right now. Things change, right? Spain to ban social media for under 16s as Prime Minister vows to, quote, hold social media executives accountable. So things can be different in different countries. You have different laws. This is an interesting one. I think Australia made a similar move. And when we see the dangers of social media for many kids, especially for if people like Elon Musk are letting this kind of content out there. I'll give you just another example. There's situations, and I think this is what hurt, if I remember correctly, MySpace. And if you guys ever did MySpace, you can let me know. But I think they had a real problem of creeper older people stalking kids. I think that's what it ended up being. And I remember hearing about that kind of stuff. I don't know how widespread it was on MySpace. I just remember hearing that was indeed a problem. And, when you're getting these kind of stories of what Musk is doing on his platform, and then you're getting rated for the numerous issues that we were just talking about, I mean, obviously it's a thing. And then the last thing I remember is, I think Europe, they were looking for major fines. It could be 6% of global revenue, something of that nature. So pretty significant. So that's what's going on. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the raid, and catch you on the next video.